Nerd Takes.
Nerd Takes.
I'm John,
I'm Justin.
and we are here to talk about the Baker's 13 single barrel.
Yeah, pretty pumped about this one.
I'm pretty pumped about this one too. This is another one that I was able to purchase at the distillery at Jim Beam in Louisville, along with the Little Book Infinite that we both got.
That is, by the way, that's one hell of a heavy duty bottle, and
That one?
the topper too.
Yes.
If it does not taste good, we can always hit him with it.
We can always hit him with it. Little information about Baker's 13. It is a limited edition version of the company's standard product, which carries a 7-year age statement, but is otherwise also bottled as a single barrel and at the same 107 proof point. The brand derives its name from Baker Beam, 6th-generation master distiller and the grandnephew of Jim Beam, who worked at the Jim Beam distillery from 1954 to 1992. I talked about age and proof already. The mash bill is 77% corn, 13% rye, 10% malted barley, and this has an MSRP of 100 and I saw 150. I saw some 130. I'm just going to go with 150.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I do have some notes on this one that I pulled from Breaking Bourbon. I think it might actually be, since they are single barrels, but the review that they did was a 2024, which is the year that I got this. So it might be close to what we got.
Yeah, and again, I'm sure we've mentioned this before, but when you buy things at the distillery, they often are a little bit more expensive than you would consider MSRP.
Because they have to sell it and then buy it back per the 3-tier system.
Yes.
Which is dumb, but
super odd.
Whatever.
But, that's okay.
It's fine.
So, a couple quick things. Upon looking at it, it's got kind of a lighter. Actually, it's pretty deep. It's almost like it's got a lot of red to it, like
It
maroon.
does. It's got a reddish hue. Yeah, for sure.
Decent legs. I'd say actually the more that I kind of swirled around, it's actually cascading pretty well.
It's just kind of sticking there for me.
Which is definitely a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good sign. It is 13 years old after all. And
Yeah.
we do like Jim Beam. We like a lot. We like pretty much everything they do.
Yeah, I think that's what's pretty cool. Like obviously we talk a lot about Heaven Hill and Buffalo Trace or Sazerac, whatever, but I've come to feel like Jim Beam is maybe one of my favorites.
It arguably is my favorite. Like it's probably that in Heaven Hill. Mm-hmm. I mean, Buffalo Trace makes some great stuff, and I'll never that goes without saying. But like the variety of products that Jim Beam makes, like you don't realize that Baker's is Jim Beam, Booker's is Jim Beam,
Mm-hmm.
Little Book is Jim Beam, Knob Creek is Jim Beam. Like all things that we enjoy.
Old Granddad,
also Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they definitely make a lot of different products. And,
let's get to the tasting.
yeah, you just tasted it.
I just smelled it, and I'm going to say that,
Ooh,
like off the bat, I'm getting like leather.
I was going to say oak, but yeah,
And
along
oak,
those
possibly.
same lines. Yeah,
It's not particularly. It's not like burning my nostrils. It's actually got like kind of like a. I don't know. There's a little hidden sweetness in there. I don't know what it is yet.
Justin's writing some stuff down. We'll ask him his thoughts in a little bit. Other Justin, not you.
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm not writing.
You're not writing.
I'm not writing shit down.
You're writing it down in your mind.
I am. Yeah. So I don't know. What else are you getting? Anything else in the nose?
I do get some of the sweetness that you were talking about,
Okay.
but it's hard to put my finger on like what. So
Okay. Well, just tell us what it's supposed
From
to be.
Breaking Bourbon.
Besides leather.
it actually doesn't mention leather at all.
Bullshit.
Roasted mixed nuts, charred oak, black raspberry, and light pepper is what it gets on the nose. Now, take it with a grain of salt because these are single barrels. So even though these are both presumably from 2024, there's a good chance they aren't from the same barrel. But then you never know.
Yeah.
I'd have to do a little more digging as far as the exact barrel that they got and match it to see if it's the exact one that I got too.
Yeah. And we've done tastes on like McKenna, and like there can be certainly some.
There's definitely some distinctions. And Blanton's is the same way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm just going to say on the initial
I
taste.
do get the spice on the nose now that I read it.
You read it?
And tasted it. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say on the taste, like that is really, I kind of expected it to be, I don't know. I thought there'd be a little bit it'd be slightly hotter, but it is not at all. It is like just a super, super like mouth oil,
It's dense.
low burn, but it's like just slow, mellow taste. But it's got like this nice, subtle, mellow sweetness to it.
Yeah. But it is only 107, so we're not talking about something that'll knock your socks off.
Yeah. I'm trying to pick up some particular flavors. You got any ideas?
Let me go back. I do need to add water. The oak comes off. That was the first thing that I really noticed. It's not surprising. This is 13 years old, so you're going to get oak, but it's also not necessarily. I've come to find out that I actually enjoy that note. I want, because I feel like it gives the whiskey some depth. And like you said, like you kind of mentioned that before, like this does have some depth to it, despite just not being a barrel proof, which we're both akin to, but it's also got a pretty good rolling finish too, where it just kind of keeps going.
Yeah, it really does. I think after adding some water to it, definitely opens up a little bit. I'm going to say that actually gives it some more heat, and I'm really getting some. Now I'm getting a lot of vanilla.
Okay, so you're starting to get some of that sweetness.
Yeah, and maybe some almonds. I mean, you already said toasted nuts, but I'll just be more specific with almonds. And I almost got like a tinge of peanut, but not
a bad peanut.
Not
but that's a
over the
beam
top.
note, though.
Yeah,
peanut is a beam note, so it wouldn't be surprising if you got that.
Yeah, I mean, it's super vanilla forward, but again, like that warmth is it's just there. It's just like coating my entire mouth. It's not overly hot. This wouldn't kick you in the butt. Again, the 107, I think, speaks to that. But man, I don't know. I think that's what you consider like a full mouth feel.
Yep. Yeah, you get that oily mouthfeel. So for taste, Breaking Bourbon had chewy caramel, burnt brown sugar, roasted nuts, charred oak, milk chocolate, robust intensity of flavors, and slightly dry, which now that they say that, I do agree with. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But not terrible. And then, do we want to talk about the finish?
Yeah, sure.
We kind of touched on it a little bit already. Do you want me to say the notes, or do you want to
say it?
Rye spice, which I agree with. Tobacco, stone fruit, increasingly dry on the back end, and long and lingering savory spice.
Yeah.
Which I get as well.
I really like this. I don't want to.
I do too.
I don't want to share my ranking yet, but
I'm a fan.
do we want to hear from producer
I think we want to
Justin
hear
first?
I am on board with this. This is really strong. I picked up vanilla, and I did pick up chocolate.
Okay.
Not forward, but it's definitely there. I didn't write down charred brown sugar, but I wrote that down.
What's the difference?
Right. The big thing I wrote down is that it's oily. That's very it's
That's prevalent,
going to
yeah.
coat your mouth. I agree with you guys. It doesn't punch you in the face, but I love the heat on this. It's there and it lingers.
It's still there.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
it's still just sitting right here, even after adding the water.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think, Justin, you said leather, and then you called out the note that there isn't actually leather in this, but it's got the oak, the toasted nuts, all that kind of stuff. What's funny is I wrote down that it was fragrant, but I don't mean like floral. I meant like I see this in like a wood lined room with a leather wingback chair, and you're gonna sip it there. I'm like, it smells like.
Could that be the tobacco on the
That's
finish?
probably what it is. I didn't pick up tobacco, but that's probably what it
be
is
it.
for me. It's the tobacco.
Yeah.
So yeah, really strong. I love this.
Yeah, I think our friend Pat would say this would go really good with cigar.
Yes, he would.
And I don't smoke cigars as much as I used to. But I would
or
at all.
ever
But
anymore.
I would agree that it's got that vibe to it.
It
right?
does have that vibe
Yeah,
to it.
sit in
for
front
sure.
of a fireplace, smoke cigar, have a cold pours of this.
Yep.
In the winter, and just full body warmth
Just hang out in your smoking jacket,
in your robe.
in your robe.
Okay, do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
I'm like, there's no such thing as an 8.75 that would be my rating. So I'm gonna say 8 point. I'm gonna say New Hope, Luke. I'm gonna say 8.5. And
Okay, I was gonna say we can probably like nerd for 5 minutes and figure this out, but like
maybe off the air.
Off the air. Yeah, we could probably do it.
Yeah, I think that it's. I don't know. I think that it's. How much does this cost again?
150.
Yeah, I mean,
And you could probably, like, admittedly, like if you went to like a store, like if you went to Costco in Louisville and they had it, it would be cheaper than that because we did buy it at the distillery.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I saw the MSRP is actually 130
Right.
for this.
I think that's right. So yeah, I'm going to say 8.75 again, or if we can't do that graphic, then we'll just say a New Hope Luke. But either way, like I'm leaning more towards 9. I'm not going to get quite to a 9, but it is freaking great. I mean, again,
Right.
taking into consideration the cost and everything like that, I think this is well
It'd be
worth,
like
well
Luke.
worth it.
Like I've been thinking about this the entire time that you've been speaking, so I
Okay.
don't know if I caught a word that
Yeah.
you just said, but it'd be like Luke at the Rebel base before they leave.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Like because you got to think like chronologically.
Sure.
Like it's after Stormtrooper, but it's before Red 5 Luke when he blows up the Death Star. So what happened right then? They're at the Rebel base and they're planning the attack, Luke.
Yeah. Okay. That's planning the attack, Luke.
Plan the attack. I will not go that far, and I will just go New Hope, Luke, and just make it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Pleasantly surprised. I knew it was going to be good just because, as we mentioned already, like I like Baker's. I like pretty much everything Jim Beam puts out. So like I knew that I was going to like this, but I'm pleasantly surprised.
Again, we bought some bottles for $150 that have not measured up anywhere close to how good this
I've
is.
spent
So,
more money than that have not measured as good as this is.
that we've tried.
Yeah,
on
that
air.
we've tried here and talked about.
What do you got, Sybel?
I'm going to go all the way to 9.
There we go.
I figured, yeah.
That's this is right up my
Red
alley.
5.
I read that. I couldn't remember. I don't have the visual in front of me. Red 5.
Red 5 Luke.
That's this is right up my alley. I really like it. And cat's out of the bag. We fill more than one of these in a day. But in the very last one we talked about, at $150, I'm like, it's really good, but there's something better at that price point. Well, we found it.
Yep.
Yep, this is it.
There it is. Again, this is
Yeah.
a little more. This is a little more meat and potatoes when it comes to bourbon.
Which I'm 100% on board
You
with.
are.
It's
That is-
bourbon flavored
that is who
bourbon.
you are. Yes.
And I love it.
Hey, but that's important. You got to know what you like, and know when when you're willing to go up and spend that extra $1, for sure.
Yeah, it's worth it. You can find this, go to the distillery. It's pretty readily available. It's not every day, but it's there
Yeah.
most days.
It's there most days.
Yeah.
If you're in Louisville for a weekend, just stop by a couple times. You'll find it.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Nerd takes.
Nerd takes.